everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for joining me this week. So I have been checking my Notebook LM for the new mind map function every single day since I heard that it was released. So if you're interested in exploring the new mind mapping function on Notebook LM, then please keep on watching. Okay, so I heard that the Notebook LM released another function in addition to their podcast, their audio overview, their study guide, briefing document, timeline, etc. And that was a mind mapping tool. So I've been checking my Notebook LM every day and I noticed that today the new functionality is there for me. So let me just make myself a little bit smaller. And we're going to explore all the different ethical guidelines from different institutions and then see what the mind map looks like that Notebook LM creates for us. Okay, so let me just make myself a little bit smaller over here. And let me just go through the different ethical guidelines I've uploaded here. There are 5. So here I've got a summary of the 5. So I've got the US Department of Education report, which I know no longer exists. So I'm so glad that I got some of the recommendations and documents before it was disbanded. So I've got the EU guidelines here, and then I've got the OECD report. That's the 3rd one. And then there's an IB, academic integrity. And then I can see I've got another US Department of Education AI report. So I've got these 5 different ethical guidelines here. And I've uploaded them previously, interacted with them, and then you'll see here I've got a mind map function. So before it was just add a note, audio overview. Over here I've got study guide, briefing doc, timeline, and I've got some saved notes from before. Okay, so let's just have a look at the mind map function. I'm going to unselect all of them and just select one of them. Let's have a look at the European Union Ethics Guidelines. And then if you scroll down, I've got the mind map option here, and you can see it's generating a new option in the bottom right corner here. Let me just scroll down so that you can actually see it. There it is. It's generating still. Okay, and click to open the mind map. So this is just based on the European Union Trustworthy Artificial Intelligence Framework. So here I'm going to scroll across, and you can see I can't scroll across, but I can make it actually a little bit smaller by pressing the plus and minus sign. So here, let's have a look at the components. Okay, it's got lawful AI, ethical AI, robust AI. Okay, and then ethical principles, respect for human dignity, freedom of the individual, respect for democracy and rule of law, pursuit of justice and fairness. Key requirements here, and then there's more arrows here. So let's have a look at human agency and oversight. If I click on that, it then gives me those components of human agency and oversight: informed decisions, comprehension and interaction, self-assessment and challenge, keeping the human in the loop, which I say is really important, and human on the loop. Okay, that's interesting. I'm going to click on that, and ability to override. So I can actually click on this, and then it takes me exactly to where the document talks about this. So human on the loop. So let's have a look. The sources explain that human on the loop refers to the capability for human intervention during the design cycle of an AI system and monitoring the system's operation. Lovely. This is discussed within the broader requirement of human agency and oversight, which is considered a key requirement of achieving trustworthy AI. I absolutely love this. This is like so helpful in understanding, I think, conceptually what's happening with this document. We're going to have a look at all the documents in a moment. But if I have a look at critical concerns, let's go over here to critical concerns. So here they are: manipulation and deception, loss of autonomy, surveillance and lack of data protection, reinforcement of bias, exactly, normative citizen scoring, which can be problematic, opacity and lack of recourse, lethal autonomous weapon systems, yes, and potential long-term concerns, uncertainty there. Okay, let's have a look at the European context. I absolutely love this mind map because it helps It breaks down the concepts in a cohesive way, looks at the relationships, and then we can actually click on to the actual document to see further details and further understand what the topic is about. So EU values and rights, and let's go back to the original document here. So where is the EU values and rights? It is as the foundation for trustworthy AI within the European context. And the document explicitly states that these guidelines articulate a framework for achieving trustworthy AI based on fundamental rights as enshrined in the Charter of Fundamental Rights of the EU Charter. Wonderful. Okay, so let me just go back here. Is there anything else that we want to have a look at in terms of the mind map? I can see key entities, European content. We've looked at that. Opportunity stakeholders. Okay. Assessment list. Let's just have a look at the assessment list. And then we can also see here it's about pilot phase, qualitative feedback, quantitative feedback. And then let's just open this up actually so that we can see it properly and make it bigger. Tailoring to use case, governance, structure. And here the assessment list. Here are some details about that. So in chapter 3, as the sources present a trustworthy AI assessment list, which could be quite useful actually for a school if you're looking at different AI tools, as a concrete and non-exhaustive tool aimed at operationalizing the key requirements set out in chapter 2 for achieving trustworthy AI. This list is positioned within the larger context of a 3-layered framework for trustworthy AI, moving from abstract ethical principles to concrete assessment. Oh, I like that. And I think I might be unpacking that concrete assessment tool because I think that would be really useful for schools to be able to use. Okay, so let's have a look at the mind mapping tool for all of the selected documents. I've got 5 here. Let's select them all. And then here, I'm just going to say yes to this, and then I'm going to refresh. So I'm going to just refresh that and then press mind map again. And you can see down here in the right corner, it is generating that mind map. And all of these documents are about AI governance and implementation. So let's click to open that. Let me move myself out of the way. You can also vote for whether it's good or bad content. So here, all of those 5 documents talk about ethical considerations, regulatory frameworks, implementation strategies, AI in specific context, academic integrity in AI, risk management, and transparency and traceability. Okay, so I just made that smaller so we could have a look at it. Let's look at the ethical considerations from all of these documents. So human dignity and rights, transparency, fairness and non-discrimination, accountability, avoidance of harm, privacy and data protection, ethics as cornerstone. And so at your school, if you're developing an evolving unified AI policy, of course, we'd be taking into consideration the ethical implications of any AI tool use. And perhaps these are the main headings that you would like to use. We've got 7 main themes here that could serve as main themes under the ethical considerations underneath your evolving unified AI policy. Wonderful. Okay. Anything else we should look at? Okay. Academic integrity in AI, because I think that's pretty pertinent in educational institutions, and a lot of us are actually facing the academic integrity and policy stage of developing, of embedding and infusing and using AI use and teaching our students about digital AI literacy. So academic integrity in AI policy importance, student misconduct, okay, plagiarism, collusion, etc., sanctions and penalties, the IB role and authority. So remember, one of my documents was the IB academic integrity policy document, and then use of tools, AI tools limitations. So let's click on that and look at the place where this was found so that we can actually have a closer look at this. So I'm going to just close this window so that we can see. So drawing on the provided sources, there are several limitations to the use of AI tools. One of the most significant limitations is the issue of authorship and the requirement for students to produce their own work. The IB academic integrity policy explicitly states the that the IB does not regard work produced, even in part by AI tools, to be the student's own, okay? As such, any AI generated text, image, or graph included in a piece of work must be clearly referenced and credited to the AI software in the body of the text and bibliography. Failure to do so is considered a form of academic misconduct, as it misrepresents whose work it is. And I always recommend schools, especially when it comes to any kind of assessment that is formally reported on, that there is some kind of resources package that the student provides. And that resources package includes the whole process of what they went through to create their product, whether that's an essay or whether that's an exploration or whether it's a project. But there needs to be a resources package that documents which AI tools were used and what the prompts were, and includes an explanation and self-reflection of the entire process. Okay, so I'm pretty excited about the new mind map tool on Notebook LM. Again, if you're in Hong Kong, you need to turn your VPN on. I'm currently in Australia, engaging in a beautiful school partnership, and so I didn't have to do that. But have a play around, and I really do think this mind mapping tool will help students as well as teachers really understand the conceptual connections and relationships between major themes of documents. And in this case, I looked at the major themes of different ethical guidelines from different institutional bodies. Thank you so much for joining me this week, and I hope to see you next time.